Today we're going to talk about why biodiversity is not that important. Philosopher Bas Haring is writing a book about why biodiversity loss is not that important. We, as a Biodiversity Institute, got curious and wanted to know more. Introducing Bas Haring. A book about why biodiversity loss is not a disaster. Why this project?
Well, many people out there think that the loss of biodiversity is as disastrous as climate change, for example. And that might be the case, but it might not be so. If biodiversity is exaggerated and is overrated as a concept, it might backfire in the future. And this might discredit science.
What is biodiversity according to you?
Well, biodiversity is a technical term. It's a measure for the diversity of life forms. Well, diversity is intrinsically something subjective. I mean, how would you decide which, for example, image is more diverse than another one? But biodiversity is an attempt to objectify the subjective diversity of nature.
And how would you define a disaster?
Well, for me there are two disasters. One is severe suffering by either individual humans or by animals, or a collapse of nature into nothingness.
So why is biodiversity loss not a disaster?
Because neither of the two optional disasters are caused by biodiversity loss. So biodiversity loss will not cause severe suffering, nor will biodiversity loss cause a collapse of nature. With collapse I mean you change of nature into nothingness.
Shouldn't we better be safe than sorry?
We are not sure that the monster of Loch Ness does not exist. Maybe it's out there, hidden in the loch, we don't know. Despite that, you go on vacation to Scotland, because we have no reasons to believe there is such a monster. The same holds for biodiversity, I think. Yes, there are things unknown, but we have no reasons to believe that biodiversity loss is going to cause a disaster.
So it's not a big deal if species go extinct?
Well, I like species and I value them, but I don't see any disaster that's going to happen if biodiversity declines.
Should biologists deal with these value issues?
I experience that scientists very often say value is for the philosophers. I can understand that, they just want to do their thing, but there are arguments to actually do think about these value issues. Lots of research into biodiversity is paid by the public because of the fear of a disaster. So these scientists profit from our fear for biodiversity loss, and hence they should think about it. And if people dislike it, well, it's up to them, and well, I can handle a rotten tomato, I don't care too much.